Hello, DevOps friends. Hey, Feasty Lobster, welcome to the stack. Chocolate Lasagna, how you doing? And Praxeus, of course. Thanks for stopping by, folks. It's another Tuesday, it's another co-working stream. Unfortunately, my to-do list seems to be growing. I'm getting a little bit behind with my work for various reasons, which just means I have to tweak my priorities and make hard decisions. But I'm very happy that my new to-do system actually shows me that I'm getting far and far behind. So it is what it is. We need to deal with it, and that's what I'm going to do. Exactly the reason why I'm going to do a co-working stream today, to get stuff done, to focus for my work on my work for 45 minutes, and then I'll have a chat with you for 15 minutes, and we'll do that twice or even thrice if possible, and hopefully by then I will have caught up with my stuff a little. And I invite you to join me and simply add your tasks. You can easily add your own tasks using the !task command. And with the !done command, you can check off your tasks once you've finished them, which gives everyone a little bit of a feeling that everyone's keeping everyone accountable and everyone focuses on their stuff, which is a little bit more motivating than just staring at a to-do list. So I guess before we get into it, is there anything that I'd like to give you an update on? Yes, there is. Tonight we're going to have the hangout, our monthly hangout on the server room, my community of practice. And if you want to join the server room, go to theserverroom.sh. It's a nice, friendly, inclusive community of DevOps practitioners who help each other grow. And that's the whole goal of Monospace Mentor, after all. And tonight we're going to have our monthly hangout where we simply hop on a Zoom call and talk about whatever we want to do. The membership fee is very moderate. It's basically starting at the amount of Twitch subscription. So you'll get much more from that than by subscribing here on Twitch. You still support me and my work, but you get the hangouts, you get member hot seats, you get community workshops, you get the community platform, and of course everyone who's on there who you can ask questions or share your experience with. So I can only recommend taking a look at theserverroom.sh and signing up if that sounds helpful for you. If you want to grow in the DevOps space, this is definitely a place to go. And tonight we are going to have our hangout. I'm looking forward to that. This is always fun. I already have a beer in the fridge and looking forward to see what topics we're going to get into this time, because that's always very varied. All right, other than that, over on monospacementor.com on the blog, I've published a blog post about, let me check, about motivation. So if you are struggling to come up with motivation, maybe this blog post will help you a little. And on the blog as well, I've published, finally, the interview that I did with B. Theo, fellow streamer and cybersecurity expert. And so take a look at the blog as well. The serverroom.sh is not loading. Let me check why that is. It is loading for me. Should redirect directly to the community page on monospacementor.com, so I can give you that link as well if you want to check it out directly. Yeah, so check out the blog, check out the community, and now grab your to-do list and let's get working. We'll start the first Pomodoro round, and I'll see you in 45 minutes for another chat. Cheers.
Installation. Let's play. Red on favor.
Time for a break. Hey, Balthazar, good morning. How is life? If you've finished your task, use the !done command to check it off. See, I knew that you could use a little bit of a pick-me-up. I have my tea here, had a coffee earlier. And when I filled my water bottle, I realized it's pretty abysmal outside. It's been raining all day and it's pretty chilly. And so I decided, yeah, let's make myself a large cup of tea. That's a little bit more cozy than just a bottle of water, even though the bottle of water is still in the background. You can see it peeking out from under the task list. It's the orange water bottle. Ooh, Braxeus. Enjoying some nice white tea. I haven't had Chinese tea in quite a while. I should get back to that. I'll have to check. We have a full cupboard of tea, and so there must be some Chinese pu'er or something like that in there. Yeah, peer pressure, am I right? You fall in with the wrong crowd and find yourself drinking tea. Balthazar's sharing, well, I have a rather funny story. I'm on some meds that as a side effect give me some really wild dreams. And I was in your dreams last night. We'll have to talk about that later at our hangout. You were living at a Disney theme park. Oh well, the Disney resorts aren't too bad, I hear. And there was also a DevOps conference there. We both attended. You know what? I would attend a DevOps conference at a Disney resort anytime. That sounds like a lot of fun in many than one way. Praxeus has a next-to-desk tea station setup coming. Oh, send pics. That sounds amazing. And Sir Puffy says, pharmacist by training here. You have drug questions, shoot me a message on here on Discord. Good to know. Look at that. Varied skill sets here on the Monospace Mentor channel. You love to see it. I just made a doctor's appointment because I have a strange thing. I've been... I have had tinnitus. I'm not suffering from it. I wouldn't say that, but whenever it gets quiet, I can hear the high-pitched noise in my ears. And lately, my right ear has started crackling, especially with noise, but even sometimes when it's quiet. And I'll have that checked out because, yeah, that doesn't sound good. I don't really want to lose my hearing. And the crackling has become pretty annoying. It is often triggered by noise, but it doesn't seem to be directly connected to noise. So we'll see what that means, and that's why I don't have the headphones in my right ear at the moment, because that will just exacerbate it. I mean, these quality of life improvements, like having a tea station next to your desk, are great, but I'm afraid I'm spending too much time in my office as it is. So having things like a fridge or even tea station or, God forbid, a coffee machine in here would tie me to my chair even more. And I don't think that's going to be healthy in the long run. Says, it reminds me of those annoying buzzers that simulate tinnitus that you can hide place. That's cruel. Oh my god. I would do that to my worst enemy. So Puffin says, have you had any congestion recently? No, I didn't. I'm happy to say I didn't have any congestions, colds or anything like that. Earwax buildup could also do that. Yeah, that's my hope, actually. I tried fixing it with the shower head recently, but that didn't make any change, and I didn't want to overdo things, so I'll have someone look into my ear and tell me, well, that's just hair or earwax or something like that. I hope it's nothing more serious or more long-term. Says the coffee machine would hurt me, but the tea station slows me down to focus on preparation, and there's no faucet down here, so refills still happen. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it can also be a nice break, and yeah, makes sense. This says I have one of these in both of my ears. When did you put them there? I didn't put anything anywhere. I'm also not quite sure what you mean. Purchased as a body-slipped one that sounded like a cricket chirping into a coworker's purse just before an international flight. She got a good laugh out of it when Heathrow released her after 12 hours and rescheduled. Really? Really? I'm not sure if I had, if I would have a good laugh. I would probably have a maniac laugh, and then I would try to get a weapon on the black market. Oh my god. Oh, okay. You were replying. Oh, okay. I see. They were both doing security stuff. She got him back. Okay. I mean, I guess it's fun to stand on the sidelines when something like that happens, because you just can stay there and see what happens next. But I'm not sure if I would definitely try and get out of the blast radius. OMG, that sounds amazing. I mean, yeah, obviously she took it in strides, but really 12 hours? Oh, I'm not sure what I would have done. I'm really hard to annoy, but I mean, especially for flights, I realized lately that I might be more prone to anxiety than I was willing to admit, and so I am always a little bit anxious when I fly. I'm always afraid of missing flights, of going in the wrong direction, things like that, because of course that already happened to me, and so if something like that happened to me, that would have given me heart palpitations, I guess. Physical security is important. Okay. Yeah, I can see where you're getting at, but they thought she was smuggling livestock. Physical pen tests. Okay. I see. Well, yeah, it always depends on the circumstances, I guess. I mean, if you're not supposed to be as lax with your operational security to let something like that happen in the first place, I mean, I guess you deserve it, but man, that would have driven me mad. Tiberian, hey, how you doing? Tiberian shares, my friend with his wife missed a flight in Europe and it cost him extra 600 euros extra. Yeah. That can easily happen, and I mean, I'm actually less afraid of the cost, because yeah, that hurts, but it's more for me, I guess. Haven't thought about it that deeply, to be honest. For me, it's more having made plans and made appointments and things like that, and then I have to try and get another flight, and that might not be possible on short notice and things like that. So I'm more afraid of the knock-on effects of missing a flight than anything else. And yeah, there were a few close calls when I realized I had mixed up times, and then I realized, oh my god, that flight is leaving in an hour and I'm not even underway to the airport. And so I had someone drive me there, and I rushed to the check-in counter, and they were just about to close, and I was it was this close, and I still got in. I actually never missed a flight, but there were several close shaves, and so I think that added up to me becoming more anxious about these things. More than I was aware of, actually. And just lately, when I flew back from, what was it, Ruby Unconf in Hamburg, I was so off the track, and I realized, yeah, I'm completely anxious, and I put in some relaxation music just to calm me down a bit, and that helped a little, but I was still so off. I need to work on that. Chugging Coffee says, "Ma'am, do you have a cricket-infested cow in your bag? We're going to need you to step over here with us." Yeah, I'm not sure about... I didn't get the livestock thing either, but yeah. She walked into his office, dumped her purse on his desk, and went, "Where is it?" Oh, she knew what had happened. Okay. Praxis says, "I met the angriest German in the world trying to check into a flight in Düsseldorf." I guess Germans tend to be angry in these situations, but that's more not so much about anxiety. I think that's more about entitlement, to be honest. Oh, okay. That's new to me. Livestock can mean bugs. Okay. Interesting. Good one, chugging coffee. That's a good one. Smuggling insects gives a whole new meaning to the no-fly list. I need to have an applause button. Do I have an applause button? I don't think so. Let me see. Well, the bot is a bad taskmaster and telling us to get back to work. Balthazar says there are such things as cricket farms. Yeah, they're also known as me on a stand-up stage. The other Germans were great. She just had all of the friendliness of a pillory and the social graces of a tsunami. That's a very lively image. All right, so let's get back to work. As always, use the exclamation mark task command to add your work to the task list, to share it with everyone, and then when you've finished, use the exclamation mark done command to check it off and have fun doing so. Well, Pixel Buttercup, happy to answer that question. Always happy to talk about keyboards. It's time for another break. Our second Pomodoro session is done, and I booked my travel to DrupalCon in September, which is going to be in Barcelona, and I won't mind soaking the sun a little bit more, because in September, weather in Barcelona will definitely be better than it is here in Ireland. Exercise. Praxeo says, exercise break, lift Jon's metal keyboard 15 times. I assume you mean the Model F62 that I have on the shelf behind, which has a pretty hefty zinc steel case. Yeah, you could use that as a defensive, maybe even as an offensive weapon, actually. That's definitely a workout. Okay, so Pixel Buttercup, by the way, that name is amazing. We need to give you an applause. So yeah, the keyboard that I'm typing on at the moment is called a Lulu, which is from Board Source, and it's basically a premium version of the Lily 54 split keyboard because it has 54 keys. It is basically a 60% keyboard but split, which means it doesn't have function keys, but it has a number row, which I actually don't use. I'm used to using a 35. Is it 35? How is it odd? I guess a 34 key layout, which gets rid of the outer column and the number row even. I put everything on layers, and that way I'm saving my fingers a lot of travel, because with a 34 key layout, my fingers have to travel no more than one key to any direction. And that is really good, especially if, as you say, you have RSI issues or something like that, or carpal tunnel. I did have wrist pain before myself, and using a split keyboard has completely gotten rid of that early on. And I always recommend tackling these things early on, because the more you tarry in that regard, the more damage you do, and that could be permanent damage that then you will only be able to relieve but not to get rid of. And yeah, using a split keyboard is great. I have been using this split keyboard now for weeks without swapping in any of my other keyboards, because I also switched to Colmac as my keyboard layout. I'm trying for the third time now to switch from QWERTY to Colmac, and I've decided to make it stick this time, and that's why I haven't switched off this keyboard, except if I was out and about and using my laptop. And I'm getting the hang of Colmac. By now I'm about 50 WPM on a typing test, but I have had to realize that typing tests are very much different from your day-to-day typing, because in a typing test you can focus, and it's more or less robotic typing, while if you are typing or coding without thinking about typing, it's much harder to keep your muscle memory from taking over. And so that's why I've been now training for weeks, getting the hang of Colmac, and it does get better, but I'm still far off. 40 WPM is about half of what I was able to do on QWERTY, and we'll see how far I get. But this time I'm really stubborn, and I want to make this a habit. The other split keyboard that I usually use is called the Corn, and the Corn has actually completely gotten rid of the number row. So wait, that's my Corn. As you can see, it only has the alpha keys and the thumb keys, and 2 outer columns for modifiers, which I again don't use. I rather use my thumbs to switch to a layer for numbers, function keys, navigation keys, all these things. And yeah, I'm really enjoying doing that. It definitely helps with physical issues in your hands and wrists and arms. Praxea says 104 keys or bust. I actually don't know what to do with that many keys anymore. Pixel Buttercup says, say more. I'm living in Dublin and I am from Barcelona myself. That's brilliant. So I live in Bray. Hello. And I'm originally from Germany. And yeah, so I'll be in Barcelona twice this year, actually. In 2 weeks' time, I'll be near Girona for holidays, a week of soaking up the sun with my family. And yeah, as I said, in September I'll be at DrupalCon Europe, again in Barcelona, right in Barcelona that time, and yeah, I'll be enjoying that too. I love Spain, and actually, I mean, if you live in Dublin, you know what the housing situation over here looks like. In case our landlord stops renewing our lease after 11 years now, we might not be able to secure something over here in Ireland, and moving over to Spain is definitely right at the top of our list. So, hola and sláinte to Pixel Buttercup. Praxea says, I'm also the person that wants a hex pad similar to a 10 key, but what the old net admins used for MAC addresses back in the day.
Shut up and get in the car.
Thank you, Pixel Buttercup. That is very kind of you. Thanks for the Prime sub. A hex pad. I do remember something like that. Let's try and find out what that is. Hex pad. Oh god, lots of stuff, mostly completely unrelated to keyboards, so let's... Oh, you mean a hexadecimal keyboard. So basically like a number pad, but also with A to F, so it can enter hexadecimal numbers. Well, you can always use a macro pad that has a few more keys than just the numbers. Something like my KB38, for example, would be ideal. So that's the KB38. I'm using it mostly for video editing because it has this nice big shuttle-like rotary encoder and 2 more rotary encoders. It actually has 3 of them, as you can see. And it has also lots of numbers, lots of other keys, I mean. So you could actually use that as a hexadecimal input keyboard. And it's completely QMK programmable as well. Most of my keyboards have a QMK firmware that allows me to program them as I like. And for example, it was really easy for me to program the KB38 with 4 different layers, where it's a Doyo KB38, D-O-I-O. It's a Chinese company, and they make macro pads in different sizes, and this one has 38 keys, so it's the KB38. And so I have programmed it with 4 different layers. The first layer is simply as a numpad and cursor keys and stuff like that, even though I don't really use that for this purpose, but since I had 4 layers, I made that the obvious thing. And then I have a specific layer, for example, for DaVinci Resolve, my video editing software, where I've reprogrammed the different number or key blocks to, say, jump to the next cut back in time, jump to the next cut ahead of time, things of that. And and with that jog shuttle, I can really navigate really fast in the video timeline. That makes things a lot easier. Blackmagic actually offers a specific editing keyboard for DaVinci Resolve, but that's really, really expensive as well. It does cost more than the KB38 and is not as versatile because you can't program it to do other purposes. So I thought, I'm not a professional editor. I don't do that every day, so I don't really need the super smooth jog shuttle and the pro features. I can simply program a macro pad like the KB38 and be done with it. And so far, I'm very happy with the decision. Praxair says, macropad would be nice. I would want the bump on the 5 key and the D key for placement finding. The D key will probably be a challenge, but the 5 key is pretty common. That doesn't really depend on the keyboard that you choose. It depends on the keycaps that you put on it. And so having a 5 key with a homing bump, or at least with a homing dish, that should be easy. The D one will be more of a challenge because the D is almost never a homing key. I don't know other alternative keyboard layouts from the top of my head, so I don't know if maybe Dvorak or Workman has the D as a homing key by coincidence. If that's not the case, then you will have a hard time finding a D with a homing bump or something. But yeah, as Balthasar says, you can always mitigate that by making your own custom keycaps. And so when I started out in the custom keyboard hobby, 3D printed keycaps weren't really popular because I think it was at that time, 2019-20, pretty hard to get keycaps that were really nice to the touch and things like that, but I've seen more and more people working with printed keycaps, so maybe materials and also precision and resolution of modern printers have become good enough to actually print your own keycaps. I'm not sure. Praxair says, I can live without it. Finding something in that form factor I like is tough, but this with the 3 knobs is nice. I really can recommend it. It's pretty nice. It's also pretty sturdy. I hope I'll get a lot of years out of that macro pad. I'll probably put better keycaps on it if I start using it more often, because I put the cheapest keycaps I had on there because I didn't need them anywhere else. So I do feel that when I do use the macro pad. And there's always a way to actually manufacture your own homing bump. Some people simply use some nail polish and put a drop of nail polish on the keycap, in your case on the D keycap. And I've also seen people who who used a soldering iron and put a tiny ball bearing in the into the keycap itself, and use that as a homing bump. That is also an alternative. Bethesda says resin printers have gotten way more accessible in the past few years, and even extrusion printers have gotten much better with finer layers. Yeah, I assumed so. And resin printers probably will be much better than filament printers in that regard, yeah. Bethesda says, now that's just practical. Get these reasonable suggestions out of it. Yeah, I'm sorry, but break will be over soon. Is already over, so I'll shut up and get back to work, huh? All right, so third round, third time is the charm. Let's get things out of here. But hey, look at that task list. We did accomplish a lot. And so let's put a few more things on there and get them checked off. And I'll talk to you again in 45 minutes. See you then. Break time. As always, if you managed to get your task done, use the !done command. I did just check off my community management task because I finished writing a forum post on the server room forum. And if you're not familiar with what the server room is, it's my DevOps community where you can become members too if you are interested in growing as a DevOps engineer or as an SRE. I'm pretty sure the server room will help you grow and learn because there are lots of people with lots of experience on there. And not only is there a very inclusive forum that you can use to ask questions or share your own experience, we also have lots of events going on. For example, tonight we'll have our hangout where we simply join a Zoom call and talk about whatever comes to mind. It's a very casual and relaxing event. We also have a few more events that are more focused on learning and getting feedback, for example. So check out theserverroom.sh and join us if you're interested in growing your DevOps skills and know-how. And if you're confused why the break has already started, I actually stole 5 minutes from our final Pomodoro round because it's already 5 o'clock here and I need to get my exercise in. I recently joined a gym again, and so I'll be off and be probably spending a bit of time either on a treadmill or on a bike. We'll see what's available when I arrive. And of course, then tonight at 7 p.m. UTC, we are going to have our hangout. So all members are invited, people like Praxeus, like Balthazar. I hope to talk to you tonight. And that was it for today's co-working stream. I'll be back on Thursday, probably with some live coding, because there are a few things that I'd like to do and share with you. I might even start doing some Go programming, and if you'd like to see me struggle with picking up another programming language, then join me on Thursday at 1 p.m. UTC. And Praxeus, what are you up to? We'll see if Praxeus has something up his sleeve. Pixel Buttercup says, Go is amazing, you'll have fun with it. I'm pretty sure I will. It'll probably confuse the hell out of me because I've been doing Ruby for 14 years now. Well, we knew that would happen, right? Okay, so Praxeus redeemed an RTFM of RFC 7514. So before I can leave, I'll need to redeem that because Praxeus has earned his points and he's spending it on this way. And so you'll get to experience me doing a dramatic reading of RFC 7514. And so let me set this up. And let's see. RFC 75. What is it? 14. Okay, let me take a look at that.
It's a Unix system. I know this.
Omnipot, welcome. Okay. This is a long RFC. Okay. All right, so let me get this set up. Chugging Coffee, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time. So wait, we'll have to turn off the music. Or at least make it a little bit lower so it doesn't. So if you'd like to clip something, grab your mouse. This is going to be RFC 7514, Really Explicit Congestion Notification, RECN, a dramatic reading. Abstract. This document proposes a new ICMP message that a router or host may use to advise a host to reduce the rate at which it sends in cases where the host ignores other signals provided by packet loss and explicit congestion notification, ECN. Status of this memo. This document is not an Internet Standards Track specification. It is published for examination, experimental implementation, and evaluation. This document defines an experimental protocol for the Internet community. This is a contribution to the RFC series independently of any other RFC stream. The RFC editor has chosen to publish this document at its discretion and makes no statement about its value for implementation or deployment. Documents approved for publication by the RFC editor are not a candidate for any level of Internet standard. See Section 2 of RFC 5741. We'll skip the copyright notice, the table and the table of contents, and go right into Section 1, Introduction. The deployment of explicit congestion notification, ECN, in RFC 3168 remains stalled. While most operating systems support ECN, it is currently disabled by default because of fears that enabling ECN will break transport protocols. This document proposes a new ICMP message that a router or host may use to advise a host to reduce the rate at which it sends in cases where the host ignores other signals, such as packet loss and ECN. We call this message the Really Explicit Congestion Notification, in short RECN message, because it delivers a less subtle indication of congestion than packet loss and ECN. The RECN message format consists of a type of 8 bits, a code, a checksum, then the explicit notification, and then as much of the invoking packet as possible without the ICMP packet exceeding 576 bytes in IPv4 or the minimum MTU in IPv6. The checksum is the 16-bit ones complement of the ones complement sum of the ICMP message, starting with the ICMP type field. When an RECN message is encapsulated in an IPv6 packet, the computation includes a pseudo header of IPv6 header fields as specified in section 8.1 of RFC 2460. For computing the checksum field is first set to 0. Explicit notification, a 4-byte value that conveys an explicit notification in the ASCII format defined in RFC20. This field must not be set to 0. Description. An RECN message should be sent by a router in response to a host that is generating traffic at a rate persistently unfair to other competing flows and that has not reacted to previous packet losses or ECN marks. The contents of an RECN message must be conveyed to the user responsible for the traffic. Precisely how this is accomplished will depend on the capabilities of the host. If text-to-speech capabilities are available, the contents should be converted to sound form and audibly rendered. If the system is currently muted, a pop-up message will suffice. Section 2.1 Advice to implementers. As the explicit notification field is only 4 bytes, it is not required that the word be null terminated. A client implementation should be careful not to use more than those 4 bytes. If a router chooses a word less than 4 bytes in size, it should null terminate that word. A router should not necessarily send an RECN message every time it discards a packet due to congestion. Rather, a router should send these messages whenever it discards a burst of packets from a single sender. For every packet a router discards in a single burst, it should send an RECN message. A router may form short sentences composed of different 4-byte words, and a host should play these sentences back to the user. A router may escalate the content in the explicit notification field if it determines that a sender has not adjusted its transmission rate in response to previous RECN messages. There is no upper bound on the intensity of the escalation, either in content or sentence length. I'll stop here. This is an interesting protocol, so it allows you to send 4-letter words to people who seem to overwhelm the network, and I think it's a very sensible approach at doing so. All right, Praxeus, I hope you had fun. And yes, 4-letter words don't need to be null terminated because, yeah, that's all this protocol allows anyway. You just need the 0 if you have less than 4 words. But who would send less than 4-letter words or words with less than 4 letters if someone is flooding the network? Am I right? So, yeah. I'll be off to the gym, and I hope you are going to have a great rest of your Tuesday. I hope to see you again on Thursday. And Silly Alert says might be more than 4-letter words. Yeah, you may send as many 4-letter words as you deem fit. That is the core of the protocol. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and see you soon. Until then, take care.